So whenever we're talking about lateral movement, we want to be sure of one thing, that we're always putting power into the ground. Newton's third law states that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So what we want to be sure as athletes, when we're talking about speed and playing faster, if I'm not as fast as I should be, I don't teach or coach the reactionary part of that. The action that always precedes what I'm doing is more than likely going to be the result that I'm getting. So if you're having kids that shuffle and they look more like they're hopping, or their first movement laterally looks vertical instead of anywhere else, or they're jumping with 2 feet, it's because of what they're taught to put into the ground. If you don't specifically talk about that first movement and what you're driving into the ground, you're not going to be successful at steps 2, 3, and 4. Step 1 is always the most important step, and we have to get that right and understand that. So this next drill, so what we're doing right here is covering and helping our athlete understand that when we move laterally, we generate force from the foot away from the direction we're going, and we continue to do that as we move. So we're going to be in our athletic stance again. Okay, so once we're athletic, we want to be sure we're driving to this direction. So when we're moving this direction, all we're going to have is a lift of the foot, and we're going to have a slight internal rotation of the hip. So the reason we do that is because we have most of our power from underneath our glutes. That's where we drive from. That's our engine. So when we're driving, we want to shift so that we can punch the ground and teach that lateral movement with power and efficiency. All right? If our toes face forward and they don't angle slightly, we got to remember that our knee is a hinge joint. Okay? If it only hinges to this direction, then a lot of that power is going to that direction when we should be directing the majority of it laterally. Here we go. So our cues here, we're athletic, strong base. We're going to go ahead, slightly lift the toe, flex the toe up. And when we say punch the ground, we are attacking the ground to move us in that direction. So here we go. Up, punch. Good. Get set. Up, punch. Better. Get set. Up, punch. Good. Going back. Now when we're going back, we're doing the exact same thing. Foot up, creating power. And lift, punch. Good. Lift, punch. Good. Lift, punch. Good. Good, good.